Women are over it. Hey folks, Mad Cat here. Welcome to the channel where we talk about politics, faith, current events, and controversial topics. Across the modern West, women are disengaging. From marriage, from motherhood, and from community in general. Birth rates are at record lows, the feeling of loneliness is at record highs, and for the first time in history, millions of women in the West are openly declaring that they don't want families at all. Women were led to believe that they could have it all, and they quickly came to terms with the truth that it meant doing all of it by themselves. What began as a movement of liberation has quietly become exhaustion and resentment. Feminism itself began with a noble idea: equal opportunity. But somewhere along the way, liberation stopped meaning freedom of choice and it started meaning freedom from responsibility, from family, and especially from men. For decades, women have been fed the ridiculous notion that marriage is oppression, motherhood is limitation, and that career is that which will give them meaning. The message was simple: the home is a prison, happiness lives at the office, it lies in sexual liberation. And now, a generation later, the results are clear. Record rates of depression, anxiety, and loneliness among women who did everything the feminist movement told them to do. Today, women carry the weight of contradictory expectations. They're told to be strong but gentle, ambitious but nurturing, independent but endlessly accommodating. They have to outperform their male counterparts professionally, best other women physically, and still be caretakers emotionally. That is an insurmountable equation, and we are witnessing it break them, because no one can be everything at once. And when perfection is the standard, failure is a certainty. One other subject that is quite difficult to address is the competition between women. Women were told that unity meant supporting one another in success and uplifting each other in failure. But modern culture turned it into a vicious game of comparison. Every woman's success is framed as another woman's failure. Careers, looks, followers, relationships. It's all a toxic social scoreboard that breeds pettiness, it fosters backbiting, and it ensures betrayal. And the problem isn't that women don't want to support each other. It's that the system rewards division. Platforms thrive on jealousy, and social media turns validation into a sick form of currency. The more perfect someone seems, the more everyone else feels behind. Instead of solidarity, you get quiet resentment. Instead of community, you get isolation. And here's the irony: the constant competition was supposed to prove strength, but it is precisely the element which is destroying women from within. You can't build unity when women are actively trying to destroy each other. And also, the modern dating landscape has become a battlefield of disillusionment. Technology has reduced intimacy to swipes and algorithms. Genuine connection gave way to transactional forms of affirmation. Women were told to postpone relationships and families in favor of pursuing a career, only to discover years later that the pool of suitable partners has shrunk and that men too had stopped trying. Distrust now defines the relationship between the sexes. Women fear dependence and men fear accusation. The result is isolation masquerading as empowerment. In the pursuit of autonomy, something deeper was lost by women: identity itself. Faith, family, and community once answered the question of who a woman was and what gave her life purpose. Now those answers are sought in self-image, in social media validation, and in temporary successes. But the human soul was not designed for endless self-promotion. It was designed for love, for belonging, for purpose beyond the self. And with those gone, exhaustion sets in. And you know what? Women are not to be blamed exclusively for any of this. Most women didn't wake up one day and decide to reject family or faith or the idea that women and men are inherently different. They just followed the narrative which was foisted upon them. The progressive side of Western culture told them that this is what success looks like. That if you're not hustling, if you're not chasing something bigger, you're falling behind. So even when some women start to realize that the feminist fantasy narrative doesn't deliver on happiness, they stayed locked in because the pressure is everywhere. Your friends, your feed, your job. Very few want to be the ones that float the idea, hey, maybe we got sold a bill of goods which isn't that good. And that's not weakness, that's condition. The system told them that this is empowerment, and walking away from that takes more courage than following it. Women are not giving up out of weakness, they are withdrawing out of disillusionment. Many see no reason to build families when marriages seem broken, no reason to trust men when the culture paints them as enemies, and no reason to sacrifice when sacrifice is no longer seen as a virtue. And so they retreat into careers, into solitude, into screens and social media where false validation is always in a surplus. They've been convinced that this is empowerment even when intuition tells them differently. But real freedom was never about isolation. It was about the ability to choose love, purpose, and belonging without shame. A society cannot endure when its men lose courage, but it also can't endure when its women lose hope. Both are needed together. The strength of a culture is measured not by how loud its women shout, but by how deeply they believe their lives matter. The task now is not to drag women back into the past, but to remind them that the future depends on what they once carried: faith, family, and the power to nurture life itself. And I honestly couldn't imagine something more special than that. Mad Cat out.